The Trump family is dismantling the Federal Reserve. And not only are they dismantling the Federal Reserve, but they're not quietly anymore. They're positioning themselves as the new decentralized banking system. I've been telling you since 2020 that the public and private sector was coming together, that banks would custody your cryptocurrency, the traditional banks would become crypto banks, crypto exchanges would become traditional banks, and you would see the whole system be tokenized. First, they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it, then they join it. Draper. We're now in regulation and joining phase. The Trump family is about to take over the new system for the next 100 years. So I'm going to show you how they are building the infrastructure of the new stablecoin, looking at decentralized finance. I'm going to show you how Ripple continues to dominate and how things are radically transforming and trillions of dollars are going to come into this asset class over the next 6 years. But before you continue on, I want to share something. This channel is not about get rich quick. This is about building structure, a financial ecosystem, and understanding it's not timing the markets, it's time in the market. We're about stoicism, being calm, and red markets are our gift. That's where we get wealthy, because we never ask what to invest in. We understand why we're invested. So on the back end of every video, I share with you, exactly what I'm doing. So let's dive right in. So the first thing that I want to show you guys is the Trump family just keeps coming after the system. Okay, Eric Trump posted this, USD1. Now, let me explain what this is. So USD1 is a stable coin. So you got RLUSD, which is a Ripple stable coin. You got USDC, right? So we have all these, you have Tether, you have USD, you have all these different stable coins. All banks are going to have a stable coin. All countries are going to have a stable coin. Trump, World Liberty Financial has their own stable coin, which is now the fastest growing stable coin. Okay. Everybody's going to have a form of currency. Everything is going to come on chain and be tokenized. The Genius Act was genius. They're going to tokenize all treasuries, making the US dollar the most attractive currency in the world. The US dollar is going to transition from a fiat, fake, not backed, to a asset backed type of currency. Bitcoin will be the new gold. Things like XRP are going to bridge these currencies. Think about all these different currencies. XRP is going to move these at the speed of light. Don't get caught up in the hype. Don't get caught up in the noise. Understand what you're investing in, okay? So USD1 officially is on, let me explain, sorry. So when I talk about stuff like this, people are like, well, should I invest in USD1 is a stable coin. It's backed 1-to-1 by the US dollar. Okay. So it's not an investment. It's stable. It's not something you invest in to gain profit. It's something when you profit take that you could store your profits in to have stability. Okay. I want to make that very clear. So USD1 is their stable coin. USD1 is officially on Coinbase now. More World Liberty Financial news coming very soon. So Coinbase posted assets added to the roadmap today, World Liberty Financial, USD1. So Trump's family, World Liberty Financial, is now on Coinbase, USD1. Okay. They also have their token, the World Liberty Financial token, which is going to be tradable, I think, by the end of September. And I think that's the next announcement coming up. Okay. And that is something that I invested in early. I got into the accreditation process to get into World Liberty Financial. And I will be buying more of that token when Trump's World Liberty, this right here, the World Liberty Financial token drops. This is the latest from Cointelegraph. World Liberty Financial minted 205 million USD1, boosting its supply to 2.4 billion. So Senator Tim Scott, I showed you some videos from him yesterday. He says Bitcoin and crypto are the future, plain and simple. You got to pay attention, guys. This is coming. They are fighting tooth and nail, day and night, to bring crypto regulation into America as fast as possible so that we can be the crypto capital of the world. Cynthia Loomis says we will have the crypto market structure bill to the president's desk before the end of the year. Okay. Bank of America says stablecoin demand for treasuries could rise by 25 billion to 75 billion. Ripple Post, The 300 billion stablecoin market is set to grow to the trillions, guys. Together with SBIBC official, we're bringing RLUSD to Japan in early 2026, offering users and institutions a trusted, regulatory, and fully backed stablecoin built for enterprise use cases. The CME Group, a new record for XRP futures. They hit an all-time high, an open interest with 6K plus contracts on August 18th, right as their anniversary approaches. I mean, bullish, man. So we're going to end with this, and then I'm going to break down exactly what I'm doing. I do want to talk about Jerome Powell and what's happening today and the spooking of the market and how our warriors are super calm. We love red. That's where you get wealthy. Green is where you profit take. Red is where you get wealthy. Just repeat that in your head. If you know what you're invested in, if you're trying to get rich quick, you're going to get wrecked 100% of the time.
I think every asset class is coming on chain, and we're really trying to lean into that as well with what we kind of coined this term, the everything exchange. So we're trying to literally be a liquid market that's global for every asset class. And I think that'll be exciting in a variety of ways, like both more international reach. Like there's a lot of people in these countries who they have high demand for US assets. Like they want to invest in NVIDIA and these things.
Yes.
But unless you're a wealthy person, usually in some of these markets, you can't get a US brokerage account opened. And then the 24/7, the fractional shares, and you can start to do things like with perpetual futures.
Okay, so this is really important to understand. And many of you who watch this channel are new, okay? And I'm going to break this down for you guys, okay? So we're going to take a look at this. This is Merlin, smartest way to track your crypto. I'm the co-founder and creator of Merlin, as you can see right now. So let's start with this. The Bitcoin dominance is at 58%, okay? So when Bitcoin dominance drops under 60%, usually Ethereum runs, and then we see the altcoins run, right? We're seeing a lot of bumpiness for many different reasons, okay? So the reason why we're seeing that is the anticipated Jackson Hole meeting today with Jerome Powell. I feel, and I'm okay being wrong with this, that he's going to hold rates. I think he's going to put the middle finger to Trump, right? They can tell, the Federal Reserve can tell that Trump is working to dismantle the Federal Reserve and bring it, I think, underneath the actual government. So just so you guys know, I'd highly recommend you read the book, The Creature of Jekyll Island. They're not federal, nor they reserve. In 1913, a group of very wealthy bankers got together on Jekyll Island that created the Federal Reserve. By 1929, okay, this is really important. This is why you got to go deeper into history. This is why I'm so confident in what I'm invested in, right? In 1929, I think there was about 11,000 banks underneath the Federal Reserve. It's rumored that JP Morgan caused FUD in the market. People ran the banks, right? They started pulling their deposits out. It completely collapsed the banking system. 1929, we went into the Great Depression. There's only about 11,000 banks underneath the Federal Reserve. And what they did is they worked to monopolize the other banks. The Federal Reserve bailed out the 11,000 banks, right? Then they brought all these banks underneath the system. We went from 1929 to 1942, really rough time for our grandparents. Then we went into World War II. After World War II, we went into Bretton Woods, right? We had the World Bank, the IMF was created. World's reserve currency became the US dollar. Okay. Then we went into, the 50s, and then we went into 1971 where we detached from the gold standard. That was a critical time for us to understand. In 1971, August, President Nixon came on a regular program show and disconnected us from the gold standard. Okay. The French had came over to take some of their gold, or to get their gold, right? They actually came on boats, they took their gold, and people started to realize that America may not have the gold. Interesting, right? So we detached from the gold standard. He said he was protecting us from speculators. Kind of interesting. Didn't they tell us they were protecting us from speculators with Bitcoin? Really interesting. Now they're the biggest holders in it. So they detached us from the gold standard in 1971. Our parents went through super high inflation during that time, right? My parents bought their house in 1973 for about $23,000 or $25,000. I always mix up the numbers. 1973, around $25,000. I think their interest rate was anywhere from 19 to 20%, right? But savings accounts were giving a lot, but they had super high inflation, super high gas prices, right? And then we started transition into a low interest rate environment, printing of money. And then we had one of the biggest financial collapses in our history, for our living history, which was 2006 to 2008, that destroyed our parents' retirement plans, right? Our government wasn't regulating banks properly. They're giving out loans to cats and dogs and interest-free loans or interest-only loans, and basically it collapsed the housing market. So then all of a sudden, it's kind of interesting. 2008, transitioning into 2009, Bitcoin's created. That's really interesting. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa come together to de-dollarize. It says right there, that's their goal. The BRICS came to de-dollarize, and Bitcoin's created. Satoshi Nakamoto created a blockchain technology that is a fixed supply of 21 million. And now as we sit today in 2025, 95% of the supply is gone. 80% hasn't moved. It's operating like gold. And the interesting thing is the top 5 holders are Satoshi, which we don't know who that is. BlackRock is number 2, the largest asset manager in the world. Larry Fink is now the interim head of the board of the World Economic Forum. You're going to own nothing and be happy. Number 3 is Strategy B, which used to be MicroStrategy, is a software company that became a Bitcoin treasury. And interesting enough, BlackRock is a number 3 holder in MicroStrategies. You can look all this stuff up, guys. Okay, number 4, I believe, is Grayscale, and number 5 is America. Number 6 is China. That's interesting. They don't know who Satoshi is, but the top 4 are from America. And Trump, Larry Fink, Jamie Dimon. The last presidency, Trump told you that it was used for money laundering, nefarious activities. Larry Fink told you that. Jamie Dimon told you that. Okay. Jamie Dimon now is letting his bank do asset-backed loans on Bitcoin in 2026. You're going to let us do asset-backed loans on something that's used for money laundering. Huh. That's interesting. You're going to start to custody and allow wealthy clients to invest in this type of stuff. That's just something that doesn't make any sense. It's just logical. It just doesn't make sense, right? Larry Fink flipped in 2023. Trump flipped in 2023. He admitted that about 3 years ago, he started getting into crypto. His family went all in when they started to get debanked. And now that we woke up in the system in 2025, I told you guys banks are going to custody their cryptocurrency. They are fully able to operate in cryptocurrency now. And here's what's going to happen from 2025 to 2030, which most people are going to miss. You're going to sit on the sidelines. You're going to try to get rich quick, or you're just going to sit on your hands. Okay, what's going to happen from 2025 to 2030? You're going to see more innovation and more changes you've ever seen in your banking system. By 2030, banks will be custodying your cryptocurrency. Crypto exchanges will be banks. Ripple will be a bank. Coinbase will be a bank. Kraken will be a bank. People will get their direct deposits there. People will be paying their bills through there. And everything will be coming on chain by 2030. Everything will be tokenized. Okay, the stock market will be tokenized. All treasuries will be tokenized. You'll be operating on blockchain technology without even knowing it. Okay, so that gives us the hint of what's happening. So now this is how I make my investments. I do my investments based on logic. I don't do it based on hype. I don't do it based on get rich quick. I have a long-term mindset. Okay, I was able to change my family's life from 2020 to 2025 to get rich. Rich is not wealthy. Okay, rich, you can screw up. You can screw it up very quickly. We're looking for wealth, generational wealth. Now we need to make really good decisions from 2025 to 2030. We need to be non-emotional. Have you ever seen a kid hit a balloon in the air and it comes up and then boom, it comes boom, and then you hit it up? That's what the crypto market looks like. It's going to shoot up. There's going to be some FUD news or somebody's going to pull profits. Boom, it's going to come down. The market is very thin. You're going to see massive volatility up and down. So if you're following influencers are going to make you think you're going to be a multimillionaire in the next 3 months, you're going to get wrecked. You're not going to be a multimillionaire in the next 3 months, but you damn well can free your family in the next 4 to 5 years. I did it. I got shut down in COVID. Everybody's like, well, did you look at, guys, I did it. My family's business got shut down in COVID. All I had was crypto. That's all I had. I had $30,000 in crypto and I didn't sell it. I moved back with my parents. And I locked and loaded and I studied everything about cash flow quadrant, richest man in Babylon, and I built a system, an ecosystem. I don't know if it'll work for you, but it's worked for me. It's cash flow. I transmute almost all of my cash flow into deflationary assets that have fixed supplies. Why would I do that? The US dollar makes you poor every single year. Why the hell would I store my money in a dollar that makes me poor every single year? Well, the hint is, why would BlackRock be the number 2 holder in Bitcoin? Why would the Trump family be the number 8 holder in the treasury now and in Bitcoin treasury in the world now? Why would they create their own blue chip crypto with XRP? You got CRO, you got Solana, you got Ethereum, Bitcoin. They're literally giving you the blueprint. So I just followed the blueprint and it worked. Okay. From there, I use cash value life insurance. I have about 30% of my wealth insured. And next is leverage, richest man in Babylon. Okay. I never make my money sit. It's always moving. It's always growing. So every time I get paid, when in the bull run 2020 to 2022, I pulled profits. I didn't buy fancy things. I bought cash flow. I built businesses. I built ecosystems. When my businesses increased, I didn't increase my lifestyle. I increased my investable assets. From there, I started getting into passive income, cash generating dividends, right? You got stock side where you can get, there's high risk dividends and options. There's, now Michael Saylor's coming out with guaranteed, preferred stocks to give you 10% guaranteed. And then you got things like Warren Buffett style, you got Apple, Coca-Cola, things like that. Those are truly passive. When I get paid on passive income, I take the passive income and what do? I put it back into deflationary assets that will grow. Okay. I'm not market sensitive. I am only focused on my exit plan and entering on the way down. That's it. Okay. So what I work to do is I work to create cash flow. Cash is trash. I put it into deflationary assets that have fixed supplies that are going to grow over time because they're scarce assets. It's the new system, guys. It's the new system. Bitcoin will be the new system for the next 100 years. Things like XRP, XLM, HBAR, Solana, ADA, all these different things. So let me break down my portfolio for you, okay? I want to share everything. Bitcoin, we're never selling, guys. We're going to move Bitcoin off to the side. That's a family bank for me. It grows about 50% every single year, and I've already leveraged it at low leverage. I never go over 25% leverage. Let's move that off over to the side, okay? So that's our bank. We'll put that with the insurance component. Then we got all other cryptocurrencies. My top 6 are XRP by a long shot. Bitcoin is number 2. Solana is number 3. XLM is number 4. I always mix up these two. HBAR and then VeChain is number 6. And I have many other cryptos, but those are my top 6. I am accumulating currently right now XRP every single day, Bitcoin every single day, dollar cost averaging, and I buy Solana every single month. I'm going to mature my portfolio into a core portfolio of what I believe is going to be here for the rest of the time. You can see what I believe is going to be here. And I also have diversification. So I've gotten out of the mindset, which I used to be in 2020, that you need 20, 30 different cryptos, 100 here, 500 here. Get concentrated. Okay. Pick a couple that you believe in and go all in. That's what I do. Okay. You don't need 500 different cryptos, $100 here, $200 here, $500 here. I'm hyper concentrated in XRP, Bitcoin, Solana. Those are my largest holdings. And when I see profit, I take profit, guys, except Bitcoin, because that's off to the side. Remember, we're leveraging that. So hell yeah, I'm going to take profits. I'm in it to make money. I'm not in it to sit there and watch these things go up and down. So yes, I will take profits from my XRP. I hold 50% forever. But when I take profits, the difference is I don't take profits to buy stuff. I take profits to what? To lock it into insurance. That creates richest man in Babylon. I can borrow against it. I can multiply that money. So when I take profits, I'm creating a brother or sister. Read Richest Man in Babylon. When I make a brother or sister, I put it into cash generating dividends. Now I'm creating another brother and sister. The cash generating dividends goes some to pay off the loan to increase my leverage again, and then it goes into cash generating assets. That's how winning is done. That's called a system. That's a financial ecosystem. Okay. What happens is people come in, they get hyped up, they come in here and they're like, oh, well, XRP is going to go to 589 and then I'm going to be rich. You're just going to have energy. You're just going to have a bunch of, and I'm not saying it's going to 589. There's people putting out these crazy price predictions in the future. Yes, in the future, not right now. What I'm saying is people are selling you this hype, right? That you're going to be a multimillionaire next year. That I'm telling you from experience. In 2020, I thought I was going to be a multi-millionaire in 2020, right? By having $30,000 in crypto. 30,000 became high 6 figures. Yeah. And then it became, now we're millionaires in crypto. Yeah. We became millionaires, but how unrealistic is that, guys? My whole life as an executive, a VP at a bank, I made more from 2020 to this point now in less than 5 years than I would have made my whole life as a high paid executive in a 401k. The amounts of money you can make in that shorter amount of time are unrealistic. But think about this. The average person retires with about $275,000 in a 401k. That is not you. That's like $700 in income per month. If you retire with $1 million at 4%, that's $40,000 a year. The system is absolutely effing broken. Okay. You have to lock in. You have to get your shit together. That's why I say that every single day. It's so important. You got to learn to create a budget, get down to debts and non-negotiables, create some cash flow, learn how to invest, learn how to create cash flow, learn how to increase your investable income and start to compound that. Okay. You got to get serious about this, family. You got to lock in. If you're the head of the household, man or woman, you got to lock the F in right now. This is not a game, guys. This is serious. Don't play games with your money either. Get out of these hypey ass people going out there and telling you you're going to make, millions and chasing meme coins. It doesn't work, guys. Trust me. I've coached 13,000 people since 2020. We have not met one person. We've met a couple people that have gotten rich and they lost it all because it's just like gambling. It doesn't work. Gambling is addicting. You get dopamine. It's completely outside of the natural way of the way the mind works. That's why casinos win 100% of the time. Okay. Very few people win in that game. Very few people. There will be some, but it's the ones that devote their life to it. And it's usually the ones selling you the coins. Okay. So be very careful. Yield my warning on that. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. I want to share with you guys this really quickly. Let me go back to my screen here. Okay, so this is Merlin, smartest way to track your crypto. A couple things I want to share with you guys on this. I'm the co-founder and creator of this. So if you go down below, you can get 30 days for free. Why is this so important? We created this as an interface, right? So I only use Merlin when I'm traveling. I never connect to any Wi-Fi. I keep my crypto very, very safe. This is an interface. It brings everything in one place. All your exchanges, you're organized. You can see your daily gains and losses, but it doesn't have access to your crypto, right? So nobody can hack your crypto. It's just data. That's it, right? So this is how I look at my exchanges, how I look at all my stuff when I'm traveling, if I'm on different Wi-Fis. Then you can set up exit plans, guys. Check this out. This is the greatest way to track your crypto. We created one of the greatest products. We built it from the ground up, 38,000 lines of code. Okay, check this out. You can build out your exit plans. You're like, how do we set up an exit plan? We got you. We got you, boo-boo. Go here. Okay, these are all the exchanges you can connect. Okay, how-to videos. Johnny Crypto with a K, wishing you a great day. Boom. We're going to teach you how to do it. And you're like, gosh, I'm still stuck. Well, guess what? We got the greatest customer service in the world. Click right here. You get stuck, they're going to jump on a call with you guys. They're going to help you through this, okay? We are so confident in our product, Merlin, we give you 30 days for free. We are confident, and we do that because people stay, because it's a kick-ass product, okay? So you got all your crypto exchanges in one place. You're organized, right? You're not at risk of getting your crypto hacked because there's nothing to hack. It's just data, right? So when you're traveling around, you can use Merlin. Just use Merlin to look at you can look at the markets too. Like, let me show you this. Cool. You can actually look at the markets. Boom. Look at that. You can see the markets at a snapshot. So you don't have to go back and forth in between all your exchanges. We also set it up where, based on your portfolio, there's all your news. Got all your news there. Anyways, I don't have to sell you guys on this. It's the best product in the world. Just ask people that are using Merlin. We love you guys. We appreciate you. That's down below in the description of this video and my social media platform. And also, if you made it this far, you know what? Most of you are not subscribed. Hit the subscribe, hit the like button, share this with somebody that may like it. Warriors, let's get your shit together. God bless you. Love you.